Last time on Wandering Monster, The Price of Ash, the crew sailed away in their dinghy and followed the guidance of Basatan to the Pleasure Islands. It was here that they discovered plentiful bounty and loot, as well as a new friend in the form of Fluffbucket. Not that they ever asked his name. Unfortunately, this was Glowbone's last adventure. He fell to the zombie hordes. Fastinus, in his infinite kindness, flensed his glowing skull to make a lantern and keep him with them always. At the end, the crew stole a sloop and fled at the sight of the terrible ghost ship that had been dogging them for so long. What will happen next? Find out now on Wandering Monster. Roll initiative!
So fleeing from Pleasurton, you will find yourselves on the sloop that you have just commandeered. If commandeering, you mean you kind of wrested out of the hands of the field of dead that you have left behind. The Raven's Wrath. You were able to acquire a whole heap of different goods and things to kind of have lots of provisions and more munitions for your journey. You, previous to this, you had a brief sighting of that pirate ship that you had seen before off a long watch. Not quite like the spectral ghost ships that you've heard tales of, but this one, again, having that kind of spectral element, but being slightly more corporeal and full of the fleshy undead. So here you're kind of in this quandary of where to go now that you've acquired a ship. The places that you have been fleeing from or visiting have been quickly overrun with the undead or have been outright unhospitable to you. And you still have this feeling like things are getting ever worse. You can see kind of it was originally starting to the east, but now also far to the west. You can just see what looks to be like heavy storms beginning to kind of converge towards this very heart of the Carribean. You have that ever dreading sense of doom about you. You can tell that if whatever conflicts and motions are in play are not dealt with soon, then the full glory of Basatan will not be realized, and perhaps the end times will finally be here. So that leaves you with choices of where to go from here in your new sloop and how you can figure what your part is to play in the giant apocalyptic wheels that are turning. But more importantly, you did also get a giant cask of grog, so you have that going for you. And we love cheese.
Well, I'd say first we have some grog and cheese. I mean, we've been through a lot, so...
Yeah. The boat's made of wood, right? We can break a piece off and make a charcuterie board.
Mm-hmm. Can we not start breaking up the sloop that we just got? Please? I know we're pirates, but it doesn't mean
it's for the charcuterie board.
It does mean that.
The whole ship is a charcuterie board.
Yeah. It is a partially charred coochie board.
Who is piloting this ship?
So,
well, one of us is dead.
Question.
One of us has sailing experience. No.
I have sailing. I was at one point a bridge captain. Today?
No, we DQ'd you, remember?
Yeah, we did, but I do know how to sail a ship. Sorry, go Ian.
I think the natural choice for piloting the ship today is going to be Fastinus. Fastinus himself being very interested in the sloop acquisition business. He will be taking the helm so that the rest of you can be focusing on your actions.
How very
thoughtful.
I'm just picturing the rum cask like sitting in front of the steering wheel with his arms just extending up out of it. Like steering, not even able to see, just in the grog, steering around.
Yeah.
Twisting the barrel around so we could stare out the bunghole and see where we're going.
The parrots on top of the on top of the steering wheel, just occasionally going like rat left, starboard. And we're just hearing that over the dubstep coming out of the barrel.
We got yeah, we We did decide there was dubstep in that horrible thing, didn't we? Yeah. All right. So, y'all, we need more than just grog. We need proper liquor. And I can only think of one place to get properly liquored up in these here islands. I mean, Ash is one thing, but where you can properly liquor it up is Tortuga. So I'm saying we go to Tortuga. We maybe probably steal some additional supplies and armaments, and we can face down whatever apocalyptic shit is about to hit us.
I mean, I was technically on my way to Tortuga anyways until certain things happened and I end up in a barrel in the middle of the sea. But yeah, I say Tortuga is the way to go.
We've all got a pass, buddy. Okay, good. Tortuga.
Cool. By the way, my name.
I don't want to go to Tortuga now. No, I would like to go to anywhere else but Tortuga.
Why do you have a barnacle in your butt right now?
Because first of all, it's a hemorrhoid, not a barnacle. I ate a lot of spicy food, and it's a perfectly normal thing for men my age.
Right. I'm gonna turn around and walk off.
You mean the plank? Because it's right there. It's all nice and warmed up for you. Go on. Go.
Your monkey's still gnawing on your head there. Just
that's how he shows affection.
Cannibalism. Got it. Okay.
I'm not a monkey. It's not cannibalism.
I'm gonna go get a pull off of that rave bucket of grog up there.
Yeah, the rave grog. I like it.
Now who's a cannibal drinking a rave?
Would the tagline could be more ounce per ounce.
Marketing at its finest.
So I heard 2 votes for Tortuga and 1 for anywhere but there because I have a barnacle in my butt.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Yeah, that checks out.
Where are you having Fastinus steer the ship?
Well, I'm assuming the majority rules. So, you mean where in Tortuga?
Majority does rule.
Oh no, I was just didn't know if Burnout was really trying to have it.
Actually, what I'd like to do is go up to where Fastinus is and kind of whisper in his ear. The rest of the crew's decided we're going to be going to Tortuga. Don't let Burnout tell you any different. He's really he's got a flare up in his ass.
Barnacle on his.
Yeah, that's right. Tell him.
Fastinus just gurgles and says, "Does he need me to tuck it back in again for him?"
I've got that hand.
Yes, he does.
We just agree to call it the butt skull.
It's a button.
Yeah.
All right, Tortuga. We are headed your way.
So Fastinus turns the ship. So you're heading southwest from here. Tortuga is probably nautically mileage speaking. It's probably about 50 miles from here. The wind has been picking up as that you can see almost ever at the edge of your vision. There are brooding storm clouds of various thickness and intensity just at the edge of your vision. And you're able to get some pretty strong winds. The water itself is getting incredibly choppy as you are heading towards Tortuga. In fact, you know that as you are orienting yourself on the ship, that a little bit just south of due west from here is where the abyss is, the great abyssal ocean rift, where the first scourge had come out from and where a lot of the great old ones are said to dwell. And that may be one of the places that the apocalypse is supposed to be launching from. So you kind of just feel like as you're heading south from here that there's a type of unseen malevolence that is radiating from that direction. Unseen, but definitely palpable and felt. I'd like to have everyone make me Actually, hold still here. I'm gonna have everyone make me a
Alright.
toughness check.
Nat 20.
It's an 11 for me.
All right.
That's a
Seven.
6.
Okay. Okay, 7 and 6. As you are on the sloop, it being a smaller ship, you're able to feel the choppiness of the waves more. The both of you is absolutely sick to your stomach, and it's not just the maybe past its prime cheese and the grog that may or not have someone certainly sitting in it, but you definitely just feel absolutely queasy. As you are on the ship for a couple of hours heading towards Tortuga, you can see that in the distance it seems even darker in the direction of Tortuga. From here, it's probably like 2 in the afternoon, so it shouldn't be that dark. But it seems as if as the you're approaching closer and closer into the trajectory, that this air in the sky above Tortuga itself is getting dark with smoke. As you approach, you can see at the kind of since you have a spyglass Fluffbucket, when you look in it, you can see that there is a whole flotilla of ships that has surrounded the side of Tortuga, completely blocking off the bay and the main harbor. Since you are currently sick with some seasickness temporarily, make me one more toughness to see if you can't focus in and identify the colors that are being flown.
That is a 9.
9. When you start trying to focus, your nausea gets that much worse, and you just begin to projectile vomit.
Yeah, someone's going to have to clean that up.
I'm assuming you're at the edge of the boat looking out with the spyglass, so it might not actually be that bad.
Well, if the wind's in my face, I'm probably covering myself in it as well.
True.
Yeah.
Someone is going to have to clean that up, and that someone is you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It really brings out the red in your eyes with all the vomit.
Thanks.
That was a compliment, I believe.
Would the red in somebody's eyes be like them being
Yes, from all the
bloodshot, or
vomiting.
they're legitimately? Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Brings out the
Sorry,
red in your
this,
eyes.
this doesn't happen. So
it's gonna happen.
it did happen.
So does anyone want to take the spyglass? Any actions you're wanting to do? From here, you're probably, since you have been sailing for a good couple of hours and having a heavy wind behind you pushing you, you could probably close this distance between you and Tortuga in like 30, 45 minutes. You're getting relatively close. So that gives you the chance where you can maneuver yourself if you want to avoid a conflict, to get into the fray of things. So what information do you want to gather from this from a distance, and what is your general plan of action?
Being as
something
Spike was
afoot.
feeling queasy as well, I would assume that they are by the side of the ship. So if they're within distance, I'd be like, do you want to try to like hand the spyglass while holding back the urge to retch all over the ship's deck?
Yeah, I'll take a peek through it. I do not think it will improve my nausea doing this.
Well, misery loves company, I suppose.
Make a toughness to hold your
9.
bile as you take. All right. So you have been studied Fluffbucket's projectile vomiting. You're able to match his arc perfectly with your vomit, as you have both rolled the exact same number.
Synchronized puking.
I call that a
It's-
double rainbow.
A double rainbow.
About to say.
Yeah.
This is the double dragon.
Can
which is,
Burnout
you know,
approach?
Be my guest.
Ability test and not.
In the meantime, I'm gonna have a conversation with Fastinus and say, let's approach Tortuga from the angle that will put us in like the least amount of contact with the conflict, at least in terms of our sloop, because I don't want the boat to get damaged. Like I'd like us to kind of sneak in and take a look at things without, the boat getting set on fire.
Also, could
'Cause
Burnout
that's
check?
our way out of there.
Could Burnout check the spyglass too? I did roll a nat 20 on my toughness.
Absolutely. So, couple of bits of things. If you're talking about advising Fastinus, that would be kind of cutting a little bit more to the southeast, because the whole flotilla of ships, if you look at the map of where Tortuga is, there is a gap where Tortuga is really close to another nearby landmass, which is part of the Petite Greve, and I'm going to pronounce it. Someone's going to correct me because I'm terrible with French. And that is east of where the new Viceroyalty of Spain, their territory, their version of Cuba. So that whole kind of space in between is occupied by the flotilla. So having more of an eastward approach in Tortuga is going to give you more of a safe approach, and you would be able to keep going east if you need to avoid all of those ships. As for you, Burnout, taking a look in the spyglass, since you got a nat 20, you can get a good view of the scene unfolding. You see this whole flotilla that has completely surrounded Tortuga are all flying the colors of the Viceroyalty of New Spain. But you notice that kind of at the head of this almost like spearhead / surrounding flotilla is a envoy of ships having the colors of the Inquisition being raised. One of the ships looked very similar to the inquisitorial ship that you had seen previously in the waters before you had gotten to the Isle of Dreadwater.
Okay. I would relay this to my shipmates, and let them know, like, I believe it's the Inquisition on that ship from earlier. They're over there. Oh, new guy. So earlier we found a ship full of dead people. It looks a lot like one of the ones over there, just to bring you up to speed, because I know you weren't there.
No,
We had a
actually, the Inquisition ones were the ones that actually took over the ship I was in. Oh,
Whatever.
Shh,
I'll
it's
just
all
take
right.
my spy rods and go play hide and go fuck myself.
That's how you get barnacles up your ass.
So I heard. Anyways, the Inquisition.
Yeah,
Shit,
like-
nobody fucking cares. I'm gonna go sit.
I care.
I really don't want to deal with zombies or the Inquisition, both being equally adversarious to me from my point of view as a pirate and a human. So yeah, let's stay out of that fight and hope that they manage to whittle each other down a bit.
So wait till we see.
Oh wait,
one
are they bombarding Tortuga together? Did I misunderstand, or are they fighting each other?
The Inquisition is part of the new Viceroyalty of Spain, the Spanish Inquisition.
Mhm.
So they have surrounded the Tortuga. You don't know the status of Tortuga, if they are zombified or not. You don't see that zombie ship anywhere in proximity, or at least that's what Burnout says from looking through the spyglass.
Oh,
All you can tell, so there's been
then why did he
extensive
bring it
damage.
up?
Because we saw the Inquisition ship before we went to the island with the zombies where your character died in like this second
Right.
game we played on this.
That was, yeah. That you guys that saw seen that out to the west of you when you guys were heading towards Dreadwater.
I
When you
said
were
we should
rowing
go
your dinghy?
capture it, and
No,
everyone
I
else was like,
remember.
no.
I'm confused about what information is being conveyed by Paschke's character and why. Anyway, if all we see
Sorry.
is Inquisition ships, then I mean, that's right. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, if they're
I'd
attacking
like to go the less
Tortuga,
volatile path.
we could try to sneak in and see if there's a resistance movement that we could go in and help to overthrow the Inquisition. You know, just find some witches and be like, "Hey, I believe in you," and about Lasmud be praised. No one else seems to be for this.
It's like you also have a suggestion. No,
Whichever way causes less vomiting, I'm fine with.
Okay, all right. You said that it's not it's not like a proper blockade if they're only covering one side of the island, right?
So Tortuga itself is small, so I'm saying is that they've got a semi-lunar approach, and they're blocking off of the main bay where
Gotcha.
the harbors are located.
So we have to maybe. How big is this sloop? Do we have like
Did
a
we
road
bring the
in our
dinghy?
boat?
Yeah.
You still have your dinghy that you can easily, I assume, you attach it to the back.
Okay, perfect.
Um,
Then I would suggest that we drop anchor off the, I guess it would be eastward coast, and like rowboat our way in, and make a possibly kind of rough and rocky landing, but we'll be able to do it, and scope out the scene. And it seems like it's just like a one-sided massacre, or like there's nothing to be gained, we can bug out. But if there is like looting to be done or whatever, then we can do that and then bug out. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sure.
Think about it.
Into it.
Cool.
So Fastinus takes the helm and begins to pilot, cutting sharply east to kind of jackknife down to avoid the sight of all of the ships. Let's go ahead and make a couple of rolls for him. Okay.
Because I really don't see us going up against the Inquisition, like, to be honest with you. Guys, like, that's a lot of guns and stuff, and we are but a paltry band, and one of us be in a rum cask.
Fastinus is able to pilot, getting you closer to the east approach. So after a good 30-45 minutes of kind of white knuckle sailing, going slightly against the current and hopefully avoiding the sight of those larger frigates that are bristling with weaponry, he's able to actually successfully navigate towards the eastern side, where you're just out of sight of that flotilla. You're able to drop anchor, and even though the waters are pretty choppy, sorry, Spike, you should be able to take your dinghy and move it in undetected. The eastward side of Tortuga still has some little bit of wild jungle that should give you some cover, versus the other 3/4 of the island heading westward from there is mostly developed. You should be able to have some natural cover.
I nailed it. All right.
Who's going in dinghy?
I'll be in the
Anyone
dinghy.
staying behind?
I'll do the rowing.
I have the most.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that's nice of you. Thank
nobody
you.
cares about my name, but they'll let me row a fucking boat forever, I guess. But
All right, new guy,
oh,
don't
shit.
push it.
All right, fuck me, all right.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm maybe I can kill off another character. That'd be cool to have 3 characters in one campaign.
Mhm.
Hey, a GM can dream.
I've done it.
I mean, that'd be an average of like 2 episodes per character.
So, as you are rowing, you can see from a distance that there are some smaller ships going from the kind of back and forth between the mainland and like the harbor to some of the inquisitorial ships at the front of that blockade. Once you're able to dock your dinghy on the east side of Tortuga, you can make your way into this jungle. It is warmer and more humid in this area than when you were previously on the Fingerbone Islands. All of the trees are encrusted with thick layers of lichen and moss, and there is an overgrowth kind of poking the canopy a bit of Spanish moss that just hangs down, kind of giving this ominous appearance. Even though that there should be plenty of daylight, it's significantly darker here just due to the thick pall of snow that is hanging above Tortuga. Flakes of ash are raining down on you and getting caught in the Spanish moss. In parts of it, you can see it even kind of sparking up a bit as embers kind of catching it before the natural dampness of the space suffocates it. So you can beeline through this jungle. You can hug the coastline and maybe avoid some of the denizens of the jungle. What is your kind of general approach as you try to keep your distance but also try to get information?
I made a decision last time, so it's someone else's turn.
You guys want me to point my gun at them? Maybe that would.
I said we sneak real quiet like, try not to be caught at all. You know, hide behind that bush over there. And he points like the smallest bush that clearly could not hide anyone.
So you want all 4 of us and your monkey to hide behind that shrub right there.
If you turn sideways, you're less visible because less of a footprint.
The bush itself, if you look at it from one angle, it looks a little bit like a piglet. It's a pan bush.
Yeah, I got it.
There it is.
Nice.
John's going to cut that out in editing, I know it.
Nope, no,
can't, I'm
I will
just
be
going in the
very
doodle.
angry at him if he does. Good.
So it's either go through the jungle and have cover or hug the coastline and kind of see what's coming at us.
A little bit, because every time you've gone through, well, maybe your character doesn't, every time you've cut through a jungle so far, the dice have not been kind to you, and so there have been random encounters. So it is just a matter of what could be lurking in this section of jungle versus if you're just not wanting to take those odds. They're both, bad
Watch, we'll take the
options. They're
coast
just
and
a
get
matter of which one you think is
ambushed by a
worse.
Every time. Every damn.
I think we can handle whatever is in the jungle now. We're not as weak as we were before we leveled
I do now
up.
have 2 guns.
We haven't been in the jungle since we leveled up. Yeah. I got a whole new character, I think.
My hit points have almost doubled.
Who wants to take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would like to take point as you begin to skulk through the jungle?
I shot my mouth off. I might as well.
My character instinctively wants to go first, but he will not stop you from going first.
Okay.
I'll be.
Why don't we just travel in combat
easy.
order for
Yeah.
convenience's sake? Yeah. So me, then
Perfect.
Kevin, then Paschke, then Bridget.
All right, that sounds fantastic. All right, since you are taking point,
Hornswaggle.
sorry, I was going to say Hornswaggle is taking point. Go ahead and roll me a presence check.
Well, off to a bad start, guys. That's a 7 with my modifier.
Okay. As you begin to walk through the overgrowth, you're kind of just instantly almost kind of transporting to this very thick primordial jungle. Odd that this somehow still has this incredibly entrenched old growth jungle, despite being just a small section of this, whereas the rest of this island is very well developed for the pirate lords, being their own private pleasure island, the place where they have their confederacy, either meetings. This seems like it has an old world feeling
So
to it.
it's like the parking strip in the Florida episode of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
And if you guys catch that,
Mhm.
yeah,
Precise.
it's like maybe 10 feet wide, but they step into it and it's immediately like the Amazon.
As you are beginning to walk through here, you hear the sound of cannons firing, gunshots that are peppering back and forth between both sides, and the screams of injured and wounded people. All of the noise from the west side of the island really suffocates a lot of what would be the primordial chitters and sounds of weird things slinking. It's odd for once that the jungle that you're going through is oddly silent and almost seems to kind of magnify and trap the sounds of the battles around you. As you can see as you're going through this, that there's the very, very vague shapes of people moving in the undergrowth, almost coming towards you, but you're really not getting a good fix on them, Hornswaggle, if they could be friends or foe, but you can see that they are coming at you at a clip.
I'm gonna yell and say, friend or foe. I mean, that's an easy one. Maybe I'd go yo-ho, friend or foe, this being Pirate Borg and all.
So you yell, and you hear the sound of something high-pitched, kind of whistling towards you. Roll me
shit.
an agility.
I'm gonna get shot in my dumb fucking mouth. All right, let's see. No, I'm not. All right, let's see. That's a nat 14, and I think with my agility, that brings me to a 17.
A coconut breaks on a rock in the undergrowth, splashing you with fresh coconut water, and you hear a voice chase it. Shh, don't let them fucking hear you. Stop.
All right, guys, I think what should my catchphrase for battle be? It's chowder time.
It's turbo time.
Yeah, chowder time, y'all. So I will run, pell-mell toward the coconut chasing ding-a-ling and attempt to skewer him with. I still do have a sword, right? I have one flintlock, but I think I also have a rapier. We decided.
Was it the?
Make sure
Sorry.
I refresh myself. Yes, my finely crafted rapier. Actually, you know what? Since I have the range, I have a flintlock, and it says I've got 30 feet of range. So even with limited visibility, I should be able to hit coconut ding dong, right?
If you would like to initiate combat and get a pot shot, I see hands
Was it
from
the coconut throwing
Muppet.
guy the one telling us to shut up and get down, or so they don't hear us? Okay.
So
Yes.
that's how I thought I heard it
he was
too.
okay. Yeah, in that case, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
all-
like-
yeah.
No.
I mean,
I-
we're the
I'm
bad
sorry.
guys.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, it's a matter of.
no. I thought, yeah. Let's hide. Let's do that instead and see how this plays out. But yeah, it's too bad Fastinus isn't with us to cast his useless fucking silence spell every time we need it. That's not his fault. That's not his fault.
Utility spells are my favorite.
Yeah, we made John take the night off because he was not feeling well, and John's health is very important to us. Yeah, so instead we'll just reap the consequences of me almost shooting the coconut guy.
Can
but-
we
but
play it
not
out
quite.
like as you're like loading up? I'm just like, no, he's trying to tell us to Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can play it out like that.
Do we want to play it like that?
I knew that. I'm just getting ready. Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
mean, shut up? Why can't I talk?
I don't want to. I don't.
We're gonna die.
So one of them, like you hear a little bit of like muttering, like low, like hushed, and then you hear something flying towards you. You make an agility check. Burnout.
Burnout,
Please
making
fucking fail it.
agility. That is...
Fail it. Fail it.
Well, I don't think I did. So let's. I know what I rolled. Bernard wants me to fail, so let's say that I'm going to remove a number from
Just
it.
roll.
6. Not a 16 anymore. For Charles's sake.
No, the dice roll with the dice. I was just imploring Lady Luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, when everybody in the
Okay.
boat's rowing one direction,
I
you're
rolled
the
a
one
16.
asshole rowing the other way. Okay, good. Yeah, you're safe this
Okay.
time.
So there is a thunk sound as a dagger hits the trunk of a tree next to you, and you hear a harsh like voice as like the like movement is getting closer to you. I said, stay quiet and stay the fuck down. You're gonna get us all killed.
Yeah, I very quickly inform him that we're here to spread the good word of Bossaton, praise Bossaton, but also do piratey things. So, what's up with those creepy dudes in the bush?
You asking the people in the bush?
No, I'm
what's up?
asking the guy who's telling. That's right. I should shut up. I'm not asking anybody anything. Yeah, I'm just being quiet.
So the figures are moving closer to you. Have all of you make a presence check.
I passed
Six.
that one.
3.
16.
2.
Okay.
15 plus 2 is 17.
Okay. So then Burnout and Hornswaggle, you both get a glimpse of what these men were running from. Towards the edge of your vision, all the way to the east, at the where the line of jungle ends and the pirate lord settlement begins, you see two figures in full sets of conquistador armor beginning to amble their way towards you. One has a gleaming halberd, and the other one has an excessively long-barreled rifle. And you see them, what looks to be looking down at the ground and following the spoor of the men.
Man, I want that rifle.
I want to live.
How close are they? What's the distance from us?
The distance in here is probably maybe 150 feet. Like you can just really kind of see them as the armor gleams, but they are decidedly a distance, away from you. They don't know where. They probably don't even see you, as you are in the thick of the jungle, some ways away.
All right. If this were an ordinary party, I would try to signal to my companions with my hands that we should try to flank them. But because my companions have demonstrated a complete desire to do nothing but the opposite of what is good for the game and story, I'm not sure. What do you guys want to
Do what you want.
I don't know. Like I don't. I'm just gonna roll with the punches and see what Paschke does next.
So, I mean, Paschke would like to do what's best for the party, unless Kevin's character suggests it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we should do Ash. Honestly.
I used all mine 2 games ago.
You got more ash on the island.
Oh, it was 2 days clean, and you just told him that.
Not after the monkey ate half my face. I don't think I
That's
want to do
fair.
more ash.
Yeah.
We should keep quiet. We should hide. That's the obvious thing. And Kevin hasn't said it yet, so therefore it's a good idea.
Okay. Right.
All right. So, are you slinking down into like the underbrush and hiding there? Or are you wanting to go a different direction in the jungle? Tell me what your plans are, and we'll play out the scene as you're kind of on a little sand timer in a
Well, you
way,
know
as
what?
these soldiers are beginning to advance.
My character type is a goddamn swashbuckler, and I think that being sneaky is part of that. So, although I don't have stealth as an ability, like I think I'm gonna try and unilaterally flank these dum-dums and shoot one of them in the noggin while they're creeping up on my friends. At which point my friends will
All right.
hopefully burst out from the underbrush and murder them, but we'll see how it goes. So
I like this plan.
I bet it has to be a agility check.
Yes, please.
You got it. Let's see. Okay, that's less than great. That's a 10 combined.
Okay. Are you keeping that as is, or using any devil's luck?
Oh, devil's luck. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And is it add 4 points that I can do?
Yes, you can basically raise or lower the DR by 4, or you can reroll your preference.
What's the DR on this to pass?
You don't know.
That's right, I don't.
Yeah.
All right,
That wasn't to be a smart aleck. It was like, this is a challenge situation.
Fuck. Yeah, I think it's probably enough. I'm just gonna add 4 points and say that with the with that all combined, it would be a 14.
So as you tap into this devil's luck, you see little like camel-colored crabs that are scuttling in the undergrowth. You follow their little scuttling and snipping as they kind of guide you, helping you avoid obviously loud sticks and things that you could make to loosen your footing. So you're able to go, since they are 150 feet away, 75 feet through this, slowly without being noticed.
Put me in range, but I'm just gonna hold my position right there.
Distance, that's a long movement, but you are able to go clear around as if you were approaching, going clockwise and kind of pinching up towards these soldiers. You can hear the clinking and clanking of their armor as they are very noisily making their way through the jungle.
Okay, I want to initiate combat as soon as they're 30 feet from me.
Okay, so you can hunker down where you are if you want to wait. Okay, I will certainly allow you to do that. What are the rest of you
because I
doing?
didn't see these guys because I didn't make that presence test. I'm gonna talk to these guys that are throwing stuff at us. Who are you guys running from, and are you running away or trying to find a better way to attack them?
So they are close enough where they could get like, keep your voice down. It's the Inquisition. They're taking everyone aboard the ships.
Oh,
Don't
are you
let them
gonna
catch
kill
you.
them, or are you trying to get the fuck away? Oh, okay. No, that's
Fuck
a
away.
fucking great idea.
They already took most of the lords. Like, the fighting is terrible. Like, the whole island is basically fallen.
Are any of them left?
I mean, one hadn't finished bleeding out yet, so maybe.
Blasted. All right. Well, my newfound friend, who, by the way, none of them want to know my name. Don't even bother to introduce yourself. It doesn't matter anyways.
If we don't know your name, then they can't torture us for
Yeah,
it.
no, that's actually, you make a really good point. Anyways, he just went that way to go start some shit. Are you guys going to help us out, or are you just going to dip? I mean, I completely understand. I just met you.
We just trying to get as far as we can. We figure maybe we can just swim for a little bit if they lose sight of us because they're wearing giant suits of armor.
Yeah, they could
couldn't-
possibly swim in that. No, that's
like, if we can-
bad idea.
These guys are not the cream of the combat.
No, but they're
crop, are
fodder.
they? Yeah, it's true. Their bright idea is to outswim the Inquisition into the ocean. You're right.
Well,
they are
I
fodder.
figure if they run far enough and they can swim and avoid line of sight,
Okay.
they hide behind a rock.
Well, I mean, it looks like
In
my
desperate
friend, which,
times.
Yeah.
like I said, friend, air quotes, because
Start
he's
some
looking
shit.
to start some shit. So I guess we'll, I guess we're running interference, so you guys get the fuck out of here. But I really need to.
I mean,
I don't know what I need to do anymore. My mission went to shit.
we could. I mean, they're. I mean, you're the pirate. Some of the pirate lords are. They were taken wholesale onto the Inquisition ships. They're
Hey,
in the holds.
you could try to
Wow.
persuade these
Bullets.
dudes and make like a presence check, probably. Since I don't know. We don't have charisma, so what would that be?
That would still be presence. Spike
do
or burnout.
Um,
Okay, that is fantastic. I'm gonna roll d20. I thought you were being
That's a
facetious at
one.
first.
Is that the one melted by rain?
Can I have you roll d4?
That's a
That's
one.
how many loaves of your brain you lose.
Okay, and then I also need you to roll a toughness check.
is it a 1?
It's a 2.
Oh,
Okay. So you take a large bump of ash. You have a lot of ash in your life, especially, spending time in the ash bowl and other places, but there's something different about this ash. It is extraordinarily potent. This is some of that really fresh ash that had just been kind of found mysteriously, and it feels like every little granule is a knife that is boring its way through the sweet, sweet meat inside your skull. And you promptly black out, and 6 seconds later, you take a big breath, and blood and chunks of brain just begin to welter out of every orifice. Did you want
let's
to
do
use
it,
any
Devil's
devil's luck for that?
Oh, that's 15.
Okay.
It's way better.
Okay, great. So you just have profuse nosebleeds and maybe a little lacrimosa as well, and you're shooting blood from every orifice of your face, but at least it's not brain matter. Fun thing, when you roll a 1 on the ash table, you are overdosing, and you have to roll a toughness test, DR12, or instantly
All
die.
So I'm just missing part of my brain now.
No, you just basically blacked out for a solid round and have been kept alive by the grace of Basatan for whatever his infernal clacking purpose is. And you're feeling not very fantastic.
It's like that Onion
Not the best
article.
ass trip you've had.
Probably
Probably
video game character wonders why cruel God continues to force him to live.
that is exactly what it is. If you want a devil's luck,
No,
devil's luck to go
I'm
back
gonna
to
live with
dying.
this.
Just
Okay.
use of that
Well,
stepped on
obviously.
stuff that's got baking soda in it instead of that pure.
Mm-hmm.
Make muffins. Remember, if you use baking powder instead of baking soda, they'll have muffins coming out of their nose. Burnout.
oh, God. Yeah. So Burnout is just kind of like, I don't know. He's there. Everyone's bunkering down. I guess he would be coming up behind Kevin's character slowly and just quietly looking over at the other two people, be like, "Hi, my name's Burnout. What's your names?" It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Are you
Alright.
fucking serious?
All right. Since it sounds like you're saying that in a normal, loud
No, it's
tone of voice, is that
that's
correct?
Burnout's whisper. That was my attempt at making Burnout whisper.
Oh,
I think I would have said it a little louder than typical. Like, are you really? You ser- just met these fucking guys. I swear to
Where are your manners? Praise Baston, want to join our crew? We have a boat.
and then when you say boat, they're like, yes, get us the fuck out right now.
But first, we gotta do
Like,
some pirate shit.
Right now.
Pirate shit first, then get you out.
The pirate ship is
No, I said shit, not shit.
do not understand. Yes, we need to leave right now. Do you not see that there are soldiers coming?
I see that.
Like,
I understand.
which direction is the ship?
Look. I hear you. Your feelings are valid, and I don't want to downplay you. But what I need you to understand is, we are pirates. That's when he pulls out his sword, and he's just like, we have to do some pirate shit first. Will you help us so we can get to the ship faster?
Let's stop us from this gutting you and taking
You
it.
don't know where the ship's at, and
We
we have a
have
crew
to
on
go.
there. You don't want to fuck with our crew.
So the two men look at you, Fluffbucket. Yes. What do you want? Like, and you can see that those, like, as where Hornswaggle is perched, like, you can see these men are advancing. They're getting closer and closer to your nest. So probably in another 10, 15 feet, they're going to be in perfect line of sight. What shit do you need to do? We are going to die or worse. You don't want to be put in those ships. We have heard the screaming. Everyone is being rounded up like chattel. What in the actual fuck is wrong
this
with
guy,
you?
A lot.
Yes, yes, that you.
Me.
You were
Yeah,
saying,
no,
like, what ship,
yeah,
and
no,
then-
you're
yeah.
you're just fucking don't even care what. They murder. They just want murder right now. To tell you the truth. I mean, truth be told, I'd be very more than happy to get back on that boat.
All right, well, let's do that. And as that happens, you see Hornswaggle, the one man with the large rifle, mutters something to the man with the halberd and goes, I can see the fat one in the can of armor over there. That suit of armor. Looks like he got it from one of us. I think I can get his head from here. Yeah, I don't think you can. You're a terrible shot, no matter how good that gun is. Watch this. And you see him, like, beginning to click back the hammer to the long rifle. You're on mute.
That's probably for the best, so you didn't hear me sing Cypress Hill. But allow me to speak it instead. Cock back the hammer. It's time for action. I'm gonna open fire on the dude with the gun, the big gun.
All right.
And I hit him. That is an 18 with my modifier for 19.
That's really good, and plus guns ignore armor in this.
Ooh, good.
So even though he's wearing his conquistador armor, you're going to peel that back and inflict some gnarly damage.
I am going to, in fact, split his wig. All right, let's see here. No, I'm not. That's 2 points of damage, but even so, he knows I'm out here.
So when you pop a shot, you get him right in the shoulder. His shot goes wide and it blasts a tree trunk that is just a little bit next to where Burnout is. The man with the halberd drops down, loading, goes, "There's snipers out in here." And you hear the sound of a flintlock or something being pulled from his side as he lowers his halberd and begins to add in powder. So we'll go ahead and treat this as combat initiative. So the men, the soldiers that are advancing on you are about 50 feet away from you at this point, relative in the jungle. One with a like a longboard rifle, the other one pulling out a flintlock, but also has a halberd. So we'll take it from the top of the initiative. So Hornswaggle, you just got your pot shot off. Fluffbucket, you're at a point where you could also engage these soldiers, or you could take these two men in the bushes and head back to the knee.
Distinctive flaw says I'm a coward.
Hmm.
The lack of respect from Burnout says I got a new ship.
But think of everyone else other than Burnout. Think of them.
Yeah.
I think he is like no something kind of shit.
And Spike's passed out, right?
Spike will revive basically
Gotcha.
the sound of all of the guns going off, because it's only one round
They
passing
did
out.
save me, but they don't respect me enough to know who I am. Most
Hey, Ian, quick.
Yeah.
Before we, I thought I remembered, and I did remember correctly. It's actually 2d8 damage, or 2d4.
Oh, on your gun?
And I rolled a 1d8, yeah. So I fucked that up. I need my d4. Unless someone
Sure.
wants to roll
Do you want me? I
2d4
have
for
a
me.
D4. Do you want me to roll 2D4 for you?
Yeah, please, if you would.
Okay. So that is
Those
a
are the ones I
4
step on, so I have to get.
and
Okay.
a 2. So that is 6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so that is a grievous wound that you do to this man instead of just a regular wound. And as he drops, at first surprise of the wound that you have opened up in his belly, the man with a halberd drops the halberd, picks up the rifle, and he goes, "I told you you were a fucking awful shot." And he swivels it in your general direction, since firing off a gun is going to have a puff of powder, so he will know the general direction that you've come from. So you see yourself relatively staring down the barrel of that. Fluffbucket, you are kind of getting back and forth about what you want to do, to abandon, to save your hide, or to defend these people you barely know.
my heart.
Where is your heart?
My heart says I'm going to take these two and head back to the ship.
Okay. So you disengage, and you the men. What do you tell them as you take them towards the dinghy?
You guys want off of this rock? Let's go. Fucking go.
Yeah.
The rest will meet us, or they
I
don't.
respect that,
the
Kevin.
men-
That's exactly what I would do in your place. Yeah, I respect that.
I mean, I
So
agree with
the-
your
the
decision. My
men-
character is so mad.
The men are just in filthy clothes that you can tell they have been just kind of trying to run and slink through the jungle. It looks like they've seen terrible fighting. And you begin to work your way backwards. You hear from where you are, Hornswaggle, the man who has the sucking hole in his stomach says, "They're starting to get away." You notice Fluffbucket as you're running back towards the dinghy. It looks like, and you've only heard 2 gunshots, it almost looks like Spike has just been shot in the face or something. Like Their whole face is just a bloody sheet, and it looks like they're breathing, but you're not exactly sure what.
Can I stop and
Spike's
check to see if Spike's
situation
okay?
is. If you want to make a quick presence check,
It's a 14 all day long.
yeah. So as you start to take Spike's pulse, Spike, do you say Spike is a he him?
I don't think it matters. I
Or
don't think I gave
they,
it
them?
any- Yeah.
Oh, it's just. As you take Spike's pulse, they like breathe extremely loud, like blood bubbles coming out of their face, and they seem alive. Just
Missing a few chunks of
really
brain
fucked up.
here.
Do you want to?
you shove them back in.
Do you want to stay or do you want to go back to the?
I'm pretty impulsive. That's my character flaw. So I think I'm going to fire my gun. Yeah.
Okay.
Best of luck to you. And
Then
I'm gonna book it.
Fluffbucket, you're running with the two men. Burnout, you're next in initiative.
Okay.
So gunshot just went blasted next to you.
And have I noticed the people that I was trying to get to help us out with pirate shit take off with whoever that guy was?
Yes. They were right next to you. Literally right
We're
next
right
to
now.
you.
What? You can't just go. This is why. This is why we found you in a barrel in the ocean. You know. So he would yell that out at them as they run away. Then turn to look at the guy that shot at him, that I assume is still alive.
Yeah, he is like on his knees in conquistador armor, and he's like trying to pull his armor away to get to his wound.
Cool. I'm gonna murder the shit out of him.
Okay, so he is. You'll need to run full tilt, and are you meleeing? Okay.
Yeah.
So you spend your full round running at him and attacking. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is
Go
a
ahead and
nat
make your
20.
attack.
Ooh.
Nice.
Like, I'm happy to see that.
And you're using your
I'm using my
cutlass,
it's a saber, sir.
rapier,
Yeah.
saber. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I was okay.
I'm going to go.
So you're
remove
able
the
to
labels from your
take-
condiments. Sorry.
Okay, so you're able to take your sword and insert it into the hole in his armor, and
Insert?
just help politely help him.
Just yeah.
Yes, that's
like you're trying to crank start a Model T, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And with the armor, it probably
Screams.
sounds a little bit like that too. You know?
Burnout just goes up to him. I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. You've got a brand new key. And he just stabs it in there and just starts turning his sword around.
If someone came at me with a knife and sang that in like terrifying Australian accent, I would legitimately shit my pants.
Hottest shanty I've ever heard.
Mhm.
you see the man who's the soldier next to him, who is holding the rifle. It takes a round to reload one of those, so seeing that you're in close proximity, he instinctively reaches for his flintlock that he also had at the ready. Spike, you're seeing this whole scene unfold through, like, as you're wiping blood from your eyes. You don't know where Hornswaggle is. Fluffbucket, if you ever caught his name, is running back towards the dinghy. Burnout has just engaged, and you, one of the soldiers, and there's terrible screaming. What are
take a
you
shot.
doing? You said you're wanting to take a shot?
Let's
Do a
this.
line, take a shot. I'm digging Spike's style.
Yeah, it's 13.
So you, and what is the range
I
on?
have
So
two
you have the nice gun, correct? Which one are you using? Because I think one has a longer
Let me
range than the
see.
other, correct?
I don't know what the rune-encrusted flintlock pistol's range is.
Oh, you would be
Okay, then I'll
perfectly
use that.
fine
Isn't that
using
an
that.
auto kill basically?
That's yeah. That one is because that one is
Auto hit ignores damage and
the
it deals like 8 points
item.
of damage or something.
Mhm.
and then you need to roll your relic.
Yeah, to see if it knocks
use.
you back and out.
It's
or
it's my
whatever.
D6 plus spirit, right?
Spike loves concussions.
That's
Look,
correct.
live by the sword, die by the sword, or in this case,
That's
musket
right,
and flintlock pistol. The spirit's at. Okay, that's not great. So I'm at a -1.
All right, so well, it's still then D6 -1. It's not bad for an automatic hit.
Oh no, that was
What damage did you
I
roll?
rolled a 1. And
I think it automatically hits. I don't
Does
think you have to
automatically?
roll.
okay,
It does. It's. Oh, I see. That was your attack. Well, sorry, are you rolling to attack or you
so I
hit
hit automatically, but don't have
automatically?
to roll damage still.
You do roll damage. Your damage is D6
Oh,
plus
okay,
spirit.
yeah. See, but I rolled a 1, and my spirit is -2.
Correct. That's why I was just making sure that we
Oh.
had our rolls.
So does that like
Um,
add a point to his HP?
Yeah, what happens there?
So you actually, before I play this out, roll me your spirit DR12 check to see if you are able to use your relic again. 4. Ooh, okay. So basically, when you fire your rune-encrusted flintlock pistol, a small little baby hermit crab just plops out of the barrel instead. It has almost obnoxiously cute, but also terrifying in the moment. It has on its like little cheeks and mandibles, it has black powder, and it sounds like it has been crunching a bit of lead shot. It seems to wink at you, and it falls from the barrel and then slinks off into the jungle.
Yeah.
It takes, so you haven't terribly fumbled, so you could still use, it's not a fumble, but you fail, so you are stunned for 1 round, and that relic can't be used until the next dawn. The soldier who pulled out the flintlock clicks it back and fires point blank at you, Burnout. Roll me your
Come
agility.
on, lively legs.
All right, I have been 15.
All right. So he fires, and you somehow, with your instincts, move out of the way. The man mutters either a curse or a prayer. You're not too sure in Latin at your speedy movement. And he goes, "You are from the devil."
Actually,
Looking
it's Bassetton.
from the jungle beyond, from the west side of the island, you hear more shouts as you hear. It sounds like a lot of gunfire was coming this way, and you think you see a dispatch of more soldiers coming your way, but it's hard to tell. You see more pirates being shackled and dragged towards dinghies and small ships that are being taken to the frigates, and you can see more pirates being taken away. Top of the initiative is you, Hornswaggle. So thankfully, Burnout came and took the fire off of you, so you can take time to either load your weapon or
I'm
you
gonna
can advance with a melee.
with my rapier. I got my damage die mixed up because it's 1d8 for the rapier. So I'm gonna try and skewer that guy with my rapier, and at the same time grab that gun that I want.
All right.
Let's see how we do. Not good. Let's see. I think that's a 5 that I rolled. Yep, that's a 5. All right. That's
All
with
right.
the modifier. No, I'm at 4.
So as you take your rapier and you go to stab at him, the point of your blade just chunks off of the conquistador armor, and he looks at you, looks at his spent flintlock and the splint rifle and then the halberd, and he grins, and you can see him gripping the halberd with both hands as he begins to stand, and you can see he's got a murderous look in his eyes. Fluffbucket, you have gotten most of the way out of the jungle back to the dinghy. You are within perfect movement that you could take the dinghy and leave, or you could wait for your companions. The 2 men that are with you, they're just bleeding from lots of cuts from the undergrowth. One is barefooted, the other one is missing 1 boot, and the other foot is just kind of all damaged and torn out from the undergrowth. You can see in the distance Fastinus of the ship. He is still drinking his barrel of grog.
I'm
What
going
is
to
your
give these
plan
guys
of action?
this turn to tend to their wounds from the undergrowth. I'm going to give my friends who don't give a shit who I am this turn to finish what they're doing and hopefully make it back. If they're not back, I'm probably just going to book.
Okay. So the men don't have anything to tend their wounds to. They just have
Hey,
the clothing on
they
their
got
backs.
they got
One of them
sand
has
and they got salt water. That's all they need, right? Just get some sand in those wounds, rinse it out with salt water. You'll be fine.
one has a dagger and the other one has nothing at all. And so they go ahead and pile up into the dinghy. And they look at you saying, "Come
Give me a
on."
minute. Give me a minute. Don't bleed all over the boat.
Next, Burnout, you just shuffled this man's intestines and somehow avoided a point-blank shot from a flintlock. You see that he is arming himself with a pretty cruel-looking halberd.
Okay. So he's still alive somehow for now.
The man that you have
Yeah.
there were 2 men that
Yeah.
were walking side by
Okay,
side.
I
You
just-
killed one. The
Okay,
other,
awesome. That's what I want to make sure. Okay. So then I will and the other one has been attacked by Mr. Bernard's character, yes?
No, that was the that was the first one, I think.
Correct.
I failed to hit the second one.
yes,
Okay.
correct. So
Yeah, let's just attack him. Let's double up. That is a 17 plus strength, so 19.
you strike this man
Mm-hmm.
and roll your damage. You're cutting through his conquistador plate.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. That was a D8, right? That I rolled. Weapon. No. D6. My bad. Glad I didn't roll yet. Sorry. That is a DR10 plus attack. Yeah.
You
Oh, I didn't use. Okay, no, never mind. Yes, that would be a 2 damages. I rolled a
2
2.
points of damage.
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
Okay. So as you lash out with your weapon, he does not conveniently have a gaping hole in his armor like his companion. Your blade just slides off of it. The man looks at you and goes, "You're in for a world of hurt, buddy. You can put down your weapon now, and you can come to the ships peacefully with me, or I can cut the 2 of you to bits. What's it going to be?" So as he says that, in next initiative is Spike.
I'm gonna put my gun down. I'm not having the best of luck.
All right, so you are voluntarily surrendering? Okay. So the soldier looks at you, Hornswaggle, and Burnout and says, "Well, it looks like one of you is sensible enough. Are the 2 of you dogs going to put down your arms as well?" Good. I was hoping we could do it the hard way. So he is going to attack you first, Burnout, since you did the last attack. He's lashing out with his halberd. Roll me your reflex. And are you still wearing Conquistador plate yourself?
Yes, I am.
As am I.
Reflex.
Okay, just don't forget that your defense is +2 more difficult when you're wearing
Like
Conquistador
my
armor.
agility is -2, basically. Oh, that just
Yeah.
makes mine. Okay, cool. I'll just put that right here in the note.
It's the DR is +2,
Got
so
it.
it's 14 instead of 12 for a standard. Yeah. So what did you roll, Burnout?
I rolled a 12, and is that with my that's with my agility? Yes? No?
It's
Maybe so?
agility, and
Yeah. So 14,
it's agility.
12 plus 2.
Okay. And then, yes, correct. So that you would still miss. I mean, he would miss. He brings down the halberd, and it bites into your armor and it buckles it, but it does not break through. You're able to avoid the attack altogether, in receiving damage. He has a look where he's like, well, maybe I did beef this, and this is not a great situation. Top of the initiative, Hornswaggle. You can, as you're seeing this man, there is another soldier in Conquistador armor that is advancing
One
in the
more?
jungle.
Okay.
One more.
I am going to. Let's see. I don't. Yeah, you know what? My rapier is a finely crafted rapier. It was stolen from a French Indie officer. I'll have you know, French Indies officer. So I'm actually going to take another whack at Mr. Conquistador armor with it. Let's see what happens, shall we? Oh yeah, that's what Daddy likes to see. That's over 20 with modifier.
All right. So you get a solid hit. Now roll damage.
All right. 1d8. Now here's hoping that I make it more than whatever his ungodly armor soak is. Probably not, because that's a 1. So it just goes stomping off him again.
The armor soak is D6 when it comes to Conquistador plate. So you stab the very point of it, and you kind of make this high-pitched, screechy sound when you're kind of pushing like a pencil through a soda can, and you try to put all of your force into it, and you seem to just go right above his shoulder, not doing anything to the meat within. He looks at you and says, "Is that it?"
Well, for this round it is.
Fluffbucket, your companions have not
All right.
returned yet.
Look at these two guys and it's like, all right, I'm gonna level with you two. I was sent here to under Lord Hamilton's orders to bolster or to talk to the pirate lords down here in Tortuga and kind of bolster the privateer army to go against these conquistadors. I was supposed to let unfortunately the Inquisitors took my ship, or the ship I was on. I was in a bucket or barrel. Long story short, then these guys picked me up. They don't care who I am, by the way. It really hurts like inside. Anyways, that neither here nor there. I was supposed to talk to the pirate lords to help, bolster the numbers so we could, so that they can take out the Inquisitors. But you're telling me that all of the pirate lords have been swooped up by these guys?
Basically, I mean, it was a wholesale massacre. They bombarded us with cannons while people were trying to get to their ships. And then while we were trying to rally, that's when they put their foot soldiers in and started having a full-assaid after full-assaid. After that, when our first round, ranks were really depleted, they started coming up and just putting people in the irons. People that were still bleeding out but weren't dead, they were just dragging off. And it was just like They were just capturing everyone that they could possibly. Some of the pirate warriors resisted, wanted to go down with their men. Some tried to flee, but were caught. It's been a total disaster, and the resistance is basically toast at this point. Maybe if people got here sooner than
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
this
I
is
can
our
see a
fault,
different
man.
story. So you're saying Tortuga's a loss? Okay, great.
yeah.
One more round. If they don't show up, we're getting on the boat. Well, I mean,
Can we
they
go
did save
now?
my life. I mean, they don't give a shit about me. Why are we whispering, by the way? Can they still hear us?
I was just saying it because, well, I mean, I've been shouting a
Oh,
lot
yes,
earlier, and I'm just hoarse.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
hang tight.
Also, it's the sexier, you know.
Hey, I like the clank. Burnout.
Right. So now it's my turn. And Burnout will continue to attack this jerk face and use a devil's luck to attack this jerk face. And we don't need to talk about that first roll. Much better. Much better. 17.
That hits.
Fantastic.
Roll for damage.
Murder.
On, better than last time.
Do it.
I said better. That's the exact same number. You are.
Did you roll 1?
No, I rolled a 2 like I rolled last time.
If it makes you feel better, his armor soak roll this time was 1. So as you slash out or whip your blade out, you actually do puncture the armor, making a kind of terrible renting metal sound as you nick him for 1 point of damage. At least when you pull your blade out of his armor, you can see blood on it this time. And he just stares down at you. Yeah, and he hefts his halberd and he goes, well, I'm going to stick you like a pig. So you put your gun down, Spike, to surrender, and then you saw your comrades rally. You see another soldier coming after them, so this is kind of a mixed bag. Does that change your plan? Are you going to advise your compatriots to put down their weapons? Do you fight with us alongside them?
Are you talking to me? Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yes, Mike.
I would
Did I
love
not
to
say
pick
Mike?
up my gun back
Okay.
up now that, I could just do a little my bad and pick my gun back up, if that's okay.
We've all had those moments. It's cool.
Yeah, just wanted to see how this was
Yes.
going to play out.
If this were a movie, it would be almost like a comic bit where the two of us like strike heroic poses. You drop your weapon.
And then like,
you
oh
know.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, then you're like, oh, sorry.
Because
Pick it
luckily,
up.
even though the other gun just spat a hermit crab, I've still got a gun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right. Then use your crabbed gun.
that's a 4.
4 to hit. Are you out of devil's luck for the day? All right. So you fire, and you're not sure exactly what happened when you did that act. Maybe you were out for longer than you thought. A hermit crab without a shell scuttles out of the barrel of this gun. Also winks at you, finishes eating the lead shot, and then
We
scuttles
gotta
off.
start keeping our guns away from where
yeah,
crabs can
I
get
got to
at.
stop storing them barrel down in the sand. I think that's been my
Yeah.
problem.
This was my home.
That's what the problem is. Yeah, I just prop them up. Now, in your
Okay,
defense,
hold on.
that was to get
That
the
would be a-
seawater out, you know.
That would be a great creature for a bestiary,
Yeah.
like a hermit crab that has taken over a gun or
Yeah.
a cannon.
That would be
That would
awesome.
be badass.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to write that. You
that'd
heard
be
it here
great.
first.
Yeah.
Here on
Awesome.
Wandering Monster. All right. So you're not in a very good spot here. You've fired both guns. One is inoperable for the rest of the day. The other one's going to take a round to
I am.
reload,
It takes
unless
one
you're a
round,
fast
yeah.
reloader, correct? All right. All right. So you're able to start
the whole process. Yeah.
cramming your powder in. Yes,
Yeah.
crablet this
Checking
time, I'd
for crabs.
recommend. So since you actually had done damage to this soldier burnout, he's going to take his halberd again and then bring it down on you. He also, as he's about to bring down his halberd, he shouts in the distance for his friend. He's like, "Help me take out these buggers. They're putting up a nasty. They're fighting."
Put up a nasty.
So he brings his halberd down. Roll me your ability. Okay, so that means you fail. I know that
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, you know that look. That's 5.
Okay. All right. So the halberd comes slashing down at you, or I guess chopping down at you. All right. So it's 4 points of damage, but you need to roll your armor soak. I swear, this is going to end with 2 of you just bludgeoning your armor just back and forth until it's worthless.
Yeah, that was a D4, right, for my armor. Trying to double check. If you know.
D6 if it's conquistador plate.
All right. Thank you. Not you. You can go the heck away. You have done poorly. The 2 times I used you were using a different dice. You are worse.
Oh,
There was only one number that could have been worse.
and you found it?
Yeah. I soaked a 1.
Okay, so you eat 3 points of damage as he actually cuts into your armor and doing a gouge in your shoulder.
I make eye
Okay.
contact with him. I'm like,
so
yeah,
top-
just like Daddy likes it.
Ooh,
Mm.
power move.
Hornswaggle. So you've seen your friend eat a bit of this halberd. Another soldier is advancing. Your rapier has been sliding off this person, or you just punched a small ineffectual hole.
3rd time's the
What are you
charm,
doing?
baby. All right. Okay, that's a 19, but because of my class, that counts as or the upgrade I got
That's-
last time.
That counts as
That's
crit.
a crit. So what is the effect of a crit? Do I get to roll?
So you do double
2d8?
damage, and then you get to reduce their armor 1 tier. So you get to permanently damage from a D6 down to a D4 soak. So that's
Nice.
actually extremely helpful in your situation.
Damn right it is. All right. First one is a 5 points of damage, and the second one is 6 points of damage for the combined 11.
All right.
That is a finely crafted rapier. I
mhm.
told you.
What was that total?
The combined damage was 11.
11. All right. So with this initial soak, that the 1 point of damage that Burnout
Ooh,
had
can I
done
narrate
earlier,
this?
you
All right. So
yes, please.
having seen that my finely crafted rapier is just going squeak squeak off the guy's armor, I've just had enough shit and I run him through the eyeball.
Nice.
You didn't see it
No, he
coming.
did- well, he did. Not
Yeah.
very long, you know.
So yeah, you skewer him. All right, so this is an interesting turning point. For a little bit here, I had thought that maybe this might. All right, we're going to finish playing out this scene and leave this on a cliffhanger for next time.
Mhm.
So, Fluffbucket, you've been waiting. Your companions have not returned.
So,
Your new friends are shouting at you from the dinghy,
What,
saying, "Let's go!"
hold on. I mean, no, what are your guys' names? But I mean, my name's well, it's been so long since anybody's asked my name. I don't even remember. But
Wait a
Oliver,
minute,
but
so
people call me Fluffbucket.
all this time, if we'd asked you, your answer would have been, "I don't remember."
Well, you will never know, and you're not even here. Like right now, I'm basically stalling just to give these guys that spared my life as much time as possible
We
to get here.
appreciate it. Yeah.
before any sort of imminent danger comes and gets me. I'm a coward. I'm not an asshole. So,
and at that point, he goes, "You said that twice now."
right? Yeah, I know. I get that, but I mean, just
The one man is like, "If you're not going, we're taking it." And he pulls his
so
dagger
I'm gonna
out.
pull up my whaler's harpoon and I'm gonna hold it directly at him. It's like you're gonna sit there and you're gonna wait.
As a quick aside, he throws his dagger at you. He's
All right.
very confident.
Yeah.
He has one shot, so he better make it. Roll me your
Yeah, that's a
agility.
really dumb thing to do with a knife is throw it.
Hey, if you someone in this show has killed someone by throwing a dagger, so
I'm IRL. Throwing a knife is a very dumb thing to do with a knife.
That's a 9 on a
Yeah.
die, and I've got +3 to agility, so that's 12. 12, yeah. Math is
that's
easy.
12. Make me one more agility.
That's an 18.
Yeah, so you can just catch it.
Okay, so I'm holding the whaler harpoon basically in his face, and then I just like catch the knife like right in front of me, and I'm just gonna. Do we want to do this again? Do we want to? You want to settle down?
Wait, you're good looking. You've got the harpoon. You're catching that. I think you're Aquaman.
Well, I don't like to brag, I will.
So what, since you have just run that person through, for the rest of you, before the other soldier and maybe an additional contingent comes your way, are you wanting to retreat back to where Fluffbucket is and get in the dinghy, or are you wanting to stay on Tortuga and see if you can either rescue any of the pirate lords or
Fuck
do
no,
any
I
more
say we get out of it.
investigating?
I just want to snatch
Well-
that long gun while we're doing it.
Yeah, I
You're
feel
able
like-
to grab it.
Yeah, grab what you can. And
It's not as impactful as you take the gun because his hands are still warm, but you do pry it better than his dead warm hands.
bluff called, asshole.
All right, so the lot of you retreat back to the dinghy and are with your two new pirate companions, Toby and Greg. And as you row your dinghy back and get back in the
Toby and
sloop,
Greg are
you can
rowing.
see that
Mhm.
That's right.
as Toby and Greg are rowing, because there may or may not have been a knife-related incident that they are very cheerfully rowing, and when you get back to the sloop and begin to retreat, you see that all of the flotilla of ships, you can see these frigates, the men on top are just shoving pirates into the holds. You can see that there are lots of men in shackle being put in below. And as you begin to sail away from it, you notice that all of these ships begin to sail with their cargo swollen full of pirates back towards Havana.